Everything you believe about reality is a lie. You were taught that your thoughts stay in your head, that your emotions are just passing waves, and that you are separate from the world around you. But that's not true. Science has already proven that everything is connected in ways that defy space and time. There is an invisible energy field that doesn't just link subatomic particles. It intertwines with your thoughts, your emotions, and ultimately your destiny. You've felt it before. A gut instinct, a sudden knowing, a moment where the world responds to you in ways that logic can't explain. This isn't a coincidence. It's quantum entanglement, the hidden force shaping your life whether you realize it or not. The problem is, most people are completely blind to it. They live trapped in an illusion of separation, unaware that they are entangled with everything around them. But once you understand this truth, everything changes. This is where your awakening begins. Imagine rolling 2 dice in completely different locations, in 2 different countries. Logic tells you they should have independent outcomes. But what if, no matter the distance between them, when you roll one, the other instantly responds? This isn't fantasy. It's quantum entanglement, a proven phenomenon in physics where 2 particles, once connected, remain linked across infinite space. Change one, and the other reacts instantly. No delay, no signal traveling between them. Just an immediate, undeniable connection that defies everything we think we know about reality. Einstein called it spooky action at a distance because it shattered the conventional laws of physics. But he was wrong to dismiss it. Decades later, quantum experiments proved that entanglement is not only real, it's fundamental to how the universe operates. And here's what most people don't realize. It doesn't just apply to particles. It applies to you. Your body, your mind, your very consciousness is made of the same subatomic particles that exhibit this strange, interconnected behavior, which means your thoughts, emotions, and energy are not isolated inside your skull. They are part of a vast web of unseen forces that stretch across time and space, linking you to people, events, and experiences in ways far beyond what mainstream science dares to acknowledge. The reality you perceive as fixed and separate is, in truth, a living, breathing field of interconnection where everything influences everything else. Every time you think, feel, or intend something with enough energy, you send a ripple into this field. If your subconscious is programmed to expect failure, struggle, or scarcity, that expectation doesn't stay locked in your mind. It reverberates outward, influencing the world in ways you cannot see. Likewise, when you hold a strong intention, when you shift your focus and emotional energy, the quantum field responds. It entangles with you, reorganizing events, drawing people and circumstances that match your vibration. This is why some people seem to have everything effortlessly fall into place, while others struggle no matter how hard they try. It's not random luck. It's entanglement at work. Those who unknowingly operate in lower frequencies, filled with doubt, fear, or frustration, continue to attract experiences that reinforce those emotions. Meanwhile, those who have learned to harness their energy, to align their thoughts and emotions with higher frequencies, find themselves in sync with opportunities, synchronicities, and breakthroughs that others call coincidence. But there is no coincidence in a field governed by entanglement. There is only resonance. And this is exactly why certain truths are hidden from public knowledge. The power to influence reality, to break free from the illusion of separation, is not something they want widely understood. If people truly grasped that they are not passive observers, but active participants in the creation of their lives, the entire foundation of control would collapse. If you knew that your subconscious patterns shape your external world, you would stop playing the game of limitation. You would step into your true potential. We can't share everything here. Some truths are too powerful for YouTube. For those ready to go deeper, sign up for our free newsletter, Insights Academy, where we reveal knowledge too confidential to discuss openly. And for a limited time, you'll receive a free digital copy of the Kybalion, an ancient book that unlocks the hidden laws of reality. The link is in the description. Now, the question isn't whether quantum entanglement is real. It's whether you are ready to see how it's shaping your life right now. You have always been connected to everything. The signals you send out, consciously or not, are already being received. But what are you transmitting? What patterns are you entangled with? If your life feels stuck in repetitive loops, if the same obstacles seem to appear again and again, the answer is clear. Your subconscious is caught in an energetic cycle that is reinforcing the same outcomes. Most people never realize this. They spend their lives reacting, wondering why nothing changes, unaware that they are simply receiving back the very frequency they emit. They believe the world is happening to them when, in truth, they are influencing it with every thought, every emotion, every subconscious belief they hold. If you want different results, you must change the frequency you are entangled with. The moment you start seeing yourself as more than just a physical being, when you understand that your consciousness is an active force in the quantum field, you begin to rewrite the script. You are not separate from the universe. You are not separate from success, abundance, love, or transformation. But as long as your mind is tuned to the wrong frequency, as long as your subconscious is broadcasting a pattern of limitation, you will keep seeing the same reflections in your reality. Quantum entanglement isn't just a scientific curiosity. It's the key to understanding how reality truly works. And more importantly, it's the key to breaking free from the illusion that your thoughts and emotions don't matter. Because they do. They always have. And now that you know, what will you do with that knowledge? You've been told that your mind exists inside your brain, that your thoughts are nothing more than electrical signals firing within the confines of your skull. But that idea is outdated. Science has already shattered the illusion that consciousness is just a byproduct of neural activity. The truth is, your mind is not limited to your body. It is a field of energy extending far beyond you, constantly interacting with everything around you. Your heart generates a measurable electromagnetic field that stretches several feet beyond your body, influencing not just your own physiology, but also the people and environment around you. This field pulses with information, shaped by your emotional state, and can even synchronize with the energy of others nearby. If your heart can radiate an energetic signature, what does that say about your thoughts, your intentions, your very consciousness? What mainstream science hesitates to acknowledge is that this field isn't just passive. It is active, dynamic, and constantly engaged in a two-way conversation with reality itself. Every emotion you experience sends out a distinct energetic frequency. Love, gratitude, and confidence emit high, coherent frequencies. Fear, doubt, and stress create chaotic, low-frequency waves. And just like a radio, the quantum field around you is always tuned in, always responding to the signals you broadcast. Think about those moments when you've walked into a room and felt the tension in the air, even before a word was spoken, or the times you've met someone and immediately sensed something off about them, without any logical reason. That's not imagination. That's your energy field picking up on the unseen frequencies around you. We are constantly influencing and being influenced by these fields, whether we realize it or not. This is why some people seem to have a magnetic presence. Their energy is aligned, clear and powerful, and others feel it before they even speak. Meanwhile, those who live in a state of inner turmoil, insecurity, or resentment carry an energy that subtly repels opportunities, connections, and breakthroughs. The external world is always mirroring back the dominant energy you carry within. The implications of this are profound. If your thoughts and emotions are more than just internal experiences, if they are actively shaping the field around you, then every moment you are creating, either by default or by design. The question is, are you even aware of what you're broadcasting? Because most people aren't. They move through life unconsciously trapped in cycles of worry, frustration, or self-doubt, unaware that these patterns are reinforcing themselves in the quantum field. But here's where it gets even deeper. Your subconscious mind plays the most significant role in this energetic exchange. Unlike conscious thoughts that come and go, the subconscious operates on autopilot, running deeply ingrained patterns of belief. If you have been conditioned to believe that success is hard, that love is elusive, that money is scarce, those beliefs don't just stay inside your mind. They become the frequency your energy field radiates, and the universe responds accordingly. If you've ever wondered why the same struggles keep repeating in your life, why you seem stuck in patterns that logic alone can't explain, this is why. It has nothing to do with bad luck or fate. It has everything to do with the subconscious signals you've been sending out for years, even decades. And because this process is happening beneath conscious awareness, most people never even realize they are the ones keeping themselves trapped. But here's the breakthrough. If energy fields can be influenced, then they can also be changed. If you can shift the frequency you are broadcasting, you can alter the reality you experience. The science is clear. When you shift your emotional state, you change the electromagnetic signature of your energy field. And when you sustain that shift long enough, the quantum field around you responds in kind. This is not wishful thinking. This is the physics of reality. The moment you understand that your mind is not just inside you, but extends into the fabric of the universe itself, you stop feeling powerless. You stop waiting for things to change and start realizing that change begins from within. The transformation doesn't happen when circumstances improve. It happens when you elevate your energy first, when you align with the version of yourself that is already connected to the outcomes you seek. Your thoughts, your emotions, your subconscious, they are not just shaping your inner world. They are shaping the quantum fabric of reality itself. And the sooner you realize this, the sooner you can start working with these unseen forces instead of being unconsciously controlled by them. The energy field that surrounds you is not just a reflection of your past. It is a gateway to your future. And the moment you take control of what you are radiating, you take control of what you are attracting. Your subconscious is the most powerful force shaping your life, yet it operates beneath the surface, silently dictating your reality without you even realizing it. Every experience you have ever had, every belief you absorbed as a child, every emotion you've suppressed, it's all stored there, running like an invisible program, determining the patterns you repeat, the people you attract, and the opportunities you either seize or unknowingly sabotage. You think you're making choices, but in truth, most of your life is dictated by subconscious conditioning. The subconscious doesn't reason, doesn't analyze, doesn't decide what's true or false. It simply accepts and executes whatever has been imprinted upon it. If you were raised to believe that success is difficult, that love requires suffering, that money is scarce, those beliefs don't just exist in your mind. They become part of the frequency you broadcast into the quantum field. And because your energy interacts with the world at a level far deeper than logic, you find yourself reliving the same struggles again and again, as if trapped in a cycle with no way out. But there is a way out. You are not stuck because the world is against you. You are stuck because your subconscious is still running an outdated program, keeping you energetically aligned with a version of reality you no longer want. And because 95% of your actions, reactions, and decisions are governed by these subconscious patterns, it doesn't matter how much you try to change on a surface level. If the foundation beneath you remains the same, you will always find yourself back where you started. The subconscious is like an antenna, constantly sending and receiving signals, tuning into a specific frequency that determines what you experience. If your subconscious is programmed with fear, scarcity, or limitation, then even when you consciously desire success, you will unknowingly reject, resist, or overlook the very opportunities that could change your life. You won't see them, not because they aren't there, but because your subconscious isn't attuned to them. This is why two people can be in the exact same environment, face the same circumstances, yet have completely different experiences. One sees obstacles, the other sees opportunities. One struggles, the other thrives. It's not luck, it's not fate. It's a matter of what their subconscious is tuned into. Their thoughts, emotions, and deep-seated beliefs shape the way they interact with reality, and reality, in turn, responds accordingly. Think about the times you've been stuck in repetitive situations. The same toxic relationships, the same financial struggles, the same cycles of doubt and self-sabotage. These patterns aren't random. They are reflections of the subconscious programming that has been running your life for years, maybe even decades. And the only way to break free is to change what's happening beneath the surface. Reprogramming the subconscious is not about forcing new thoughts into your mind. It's about shifting the energetic state you operate from. Your subconscious doesn't respond to empty affirmations. It responds to emotion, repetition, and deep internalized belief. This is why people who simply repeat positive mantras without truly believing them see no results. They are speaking words that do not match their inner frequency. And in the quantum field, it is your dominant frequency, not your passing thoughts, that determines what manifests in your life. Every time you tell yourself you are abundant but feel deep anxiety about money, your subconscious is still tuned to scarcity. Every time you affirm love but carry wounds of unworthiness, your subconscious is still broadcasting rejection. And as long as your internal state remains misaligned with what you seek, the universe will reflect that misalignment back to you. The key isn't to force yourself to believe something new. The key is to shift the emotional resonance of your subconscious so that new beliefs feel natural, effortless, undeniable. And once that happens, once your subconscious accepts a new truth, your energy field recalibrates, and suddenly, the external world begins to shift in ways you never thought possible. This isn't magic. This is physics. Your subconscious is a frequency generator, and whatever it emits, the quantum field amplifies. So ask yourself, what are you truly broadcasting? Not what you wish to believe, not what you try to tell yourself in moments of motivation, but what your subconscious, deep down, has accepted as true. Because that is the reality you are living, whether you realize it or not. And until you change that, nothing else will change. But the moment you do, the moment you shift the energy you transmit, everything begins to rearrange itself. And that is where true transformation begins. There is something about reality that most people never question, something so fundamental yet so overlooked that it seems almost too obvious to matter. But it does matter. In fact, it may be the most important realization of all. The universe is not a passive, predetermined structure. It is responsive, fluid, and shaped by something far more powerful than physical laws alone. It is shaped by consciousness. Quantum physics has already proven this. The famous double-slit experiment revealed something so strange, so groundbreaking, that it changed the very way scientists understood the fabric of existence. When light particles were sent through a barrier with two slits, they created an interference pattern, behaving as waves rather than particles. But when a measuring device was placed to observe which slit the particles traveled through, everything changed. The act of observation itself forced the particles to behave differently, collapsing into a single outcome rather than existing in a wave of possibilities. Think about that. The only difference was that someone was watching. The moment consciousness entered the equation, reality adjusted itself accordingly. The implications of this are staggering, and yet most people remain completely unaware of what it means for their own lives. If subatomic particles, the building blocks of everything in existence, behave differently simply because they are being observed, then what does that say about the world around you? What does that say about the way your thoughts, your focus, and your awareness interact with the reality you experience? You have been conditioned to believe that reality is fixed, that life unfolds in a linear fashion, unaffected by your perception of it. But that has never been true. Science now confirms what ancient mystics and spiritual traditions have known for centuries. Your awareness is an active force, constantly shaping the outcomes you experience. The way you observe reality determines how reality responds to you. This is not just a philosophical idea. It is a fundamental law of existence. Most people go through life completely unaware that they are influencing what happens to them at every moment. They believe they are victims of chance, reacting to circumstances beyond their control, when in reality, their consciousness is constantly interacting with the field of possibilities around them. Your thoughts, emotions, and attention are not just private experiences confined to your mind. They are signals, shaping the very structure of the reality you live in. This is why where you place your focus matters. If you spend your time locked in fear, doubt, and scarcity, those thoughts don't just remain inside your head. They radiate outward, shifting the probabilities of what manifests in your life. If you are constantly expecting failure, misfortune, or struggle, then you are actively reinforcing that version of reality, collapsing possibilities into outcomes that match your subconscious fears. But here's the most powerful part. This works in the opposite direction as well. The moment you shift your awareness, the moment you direct your focus toward a higher possibility, reality begins to reorganize itself around that new frequency. Just as the observer effect in quantum physics changes the behavior of particles, your conscious attention changes the energetic pattern of your life. This is why those who operate with certainty, with confidence, with a deep knowing that they are meant for something greater, tend to see those beliefs reflected back to them. They are not simply lucky. They are collapsing reality into a form that matches their internal state. The problem is, most people are unaware that they are doing this all the time. They don't realize that their expectations are shaping their outcomes. They don't see that their fears are reinforcing themselves, that their doubts are keeping them stuck, that their inability to believe in a better reality is the very thing preventing them from experiencing one. They move through life as if they are powerless, never realizing that they have been influencing reality from the beginning. But once you understand this, once you truly grasp that your observation is a creative force, everything changes. You stop reacting and start directing. You stop fearing the unknown and start realizing that the unknown is just unshaped potential, waiting for you to give it form. You are not separate from the universe. You are a participant in its unfolding. And the moment you decide to observe a different version of reality, to focus on new possibilities rather than old limitations, you will see the evidence appear around you. The key is awareness. The more conscious you become of where your attention is directed, the more you take back control over what manifests in your life. Because reality is not happening to you. It is responding to you. And whether you realize it or not, you are always at the center of that interaction. The question is, are you collapsing reality into a version that serves you, or are you unconsciously reinforcing the patterns that keep you stuck? The answer lies in your focus, in your awareness, in what you choose to observe. And once you take control of that, you take control of everything. Most people never escape the cycle they're trapped in, not because they lack intelligence, effort, or ambition, but because they are unknowingly working against themselves. They set goals, make resolutions, visualize success, yet nothing changes. Frustration builds. They wonder if manifestation is just a myth, if reality is truly rigid and unmovable, or if they are simply unlucky. But the truth is far more unsettling. The universe does not respond to what you say you want. It responds to what you truly believe, deep down, at the subconscious level. You can affirm wealth all day long, but if your subconscious is programmed with scarcity, you will continue to operate from lack. You can tell yourself you deserve love, but if your subconscious holds on to wounds of rejection, you will unknowingly push it away. The conscious mind is like the tip of an iceberg. It's visible. It's what you think is steering the ship. But the subconscious, buried beneath the surface, is what truly directs your life. And if that deeper layer is misaligned with your desires, your actions, your energy, and your reality, will continue to reflect that misalignment. This is why some people work harder and harder, but never break free from struggle. They take massive action, but that action is driven by an internal belief that success is difficult, that they must suffer, that they are not enough. And so they stay stuck, not because they aren't trying, but because they are fighting their own subconscious programming. On the other hand, there are those who seem to attract abundance, relationships, and opportunities effortlessly. It looks like luck, but it's not. It's alignment. Their subconscious is already attuned to those experiences, so reality flows in that direction without resistance. Your subconscious operates on autopilot. running scripts that were programmed into you long before you were even aware of them. Studies show that the majority of your beliefs were formed in the first 7 years of life, during a period when your brain was in a highly suggestible theta state, absorbing everything without question. If you were exposed to ideas of limitation, fear, or self-doubt in those formative years, those ideas became part of your energetic blueprint. And unless they are rewritten, they will continue dictating your reality, no matter how much conscious effort you put in. This is why so many people feel like they are hitting an invisible wall, like there is something unseen holding them back. And there is. It's not the universe, it's not fate, it's not some external force. It's the subconscious patterns they have never confronted. These patterns create an energetic feedback loop. You think the same thoughts, feel the same emotions, take the same actions, and receive the same results. And the longer this cycle continues, the stronger it becomes, reinforcing the illusion that change is impossible. But the illusion is just that, an illusion. The cycle can be broken, but only if you stop trying to change your external world without first shifting your internal world. This is where most people go wrong. They try to force change from the outside in. They chase money, relationships, success, believing that once they acquire these things, their internal reality will shift. But that's not how manifestation works. The external world is only a reflection. You cannot change the reflection in the mirror without changing the object standing in front of it. You must shift your internal state first, align your subconscious frequency with what you desire, and then reality adjusts. This is why people who constantly doubt manifestation, who say it doesn't work, are actually proving themselves right. Their skepticism is part of their subconscious belief system. They don't truly expect things to change, and so they experience more of the same. The universe mirrors back that doubt, that resistance, that disbelief. But those who fully commit, who step into a place of knowing rather than hoping, are the ones who see results. Their belief is unwavering, and because of that, their subconscious aligns with the reality they desire, making it inevitable. The truth is, manifestation is not about forcing the universe to give you something. It is about removing the subconscious barriers that are preventing it from flowing naturally. Abundance, success, love. These are not things you must chase. They are frequencies you must attune to. The reason most people fail to manifest change is because they are still broadcasting a signal that contradicts what they say they want. And as long as that contradiction exists, the universe will always default to the dominant energy. The key is not just thinking differently, but feeling differently, believing differently, being differently at the deepest level. You must become an energetic match for what you desire before it can show up in your reality. And that means clearing the subconscious blocks, reprogramming the patterns that have been keeping you stuck, and shifting from a place of wanting to a place of knowing. Because once your subconscious is fully aligned, you will no longer have to chase change. It will become the natural course of your life, flowing to you effortlessly, as if it was meant to be, because it was. Most people don't realize that they have been living inside a script they never wrote. From childhood, beliefs were imprinted into their subconscious, shaping how they see the world and what they believe is possible. And because the subconscious runs 95% of daily life, those beliefs become self-fulfilling prophecies. You don't just experience life, you experience your programming. But what if you could rewrite the script? What if you could replace limitation with expansion, fear with confidence, scarcity with abundance? What if the same subconscious mind that has been reinforcing old patterns could be reprogrammed to align with the reality you actually want? This is not wishful thinking. It's not empty self-help talk. It's science. The subconscious mind is designed to adapt, to be rewired, to shift based on new input. The problem is, most people never intentionally take control of this process. They go through life reacting to circumstances instead of consciously reconditioning their internal world. They wonder why they keep attracting the same struggles without realizing that their subconscious is still tuned to the frequency of those struggles. The universe isn't withholding abundance. It's responding to what you are broadcasting. So how do you change the signal? How do you shift your subconscious so that your energy aligns with the life you want instead of the one you feel stuck in? The first thing you must understand is that your subconscious doesn't change through logic. You can't simply tell yourself to believe something new and expect it to stick. The subconscious speaks in repetition, in feeling, in deep emotional resonance. If you want to reprogram it, you must engage it at its core level, where beliefs are stored, where habits are formed, where identity is shaped. One of the most effective ways to do this is through deep meditative states. When you enter a meditative state, your brain shifts from the normal waking beta state into alpha and theta frequencies. These are the same states your brain was in during childhood, the same states where your subconscious absorbed programming without resistance. This is why meditation is so powerful. It gives you direct access to the subconscious, allowing you to introduce new beliefs while bypassing the analytical mind that usually filters them out. Visualization is another key, but not the kind of shallow visualization where you simply picture what you want for a few seconds and move on. The subconscious doesn't respond to images alone. It responds to emotion, to the feeling of already being in that reality. This is why so many people struggle with manifestation. They visualize, but they don't feel. They see what they want, but they remain emotionally disconnected, still carrying the subconscious belief that it is out of reach. The key is to experience the visualization as if it is happening now, to generate the emotions of already having what you seek. Because once your subconscious believes something is real, the quantum field has no choice but to align with that belief. Repetition is also essential. Just as your subconscious was programmed through repeated exposure to ideas, it must be reprogrammed the same way. This is why affirmations work for some and fail for others. If you say an affirmation but don't believe it, your subconscious rejects it. But if you repeat it consistently, with conviction, in a deep, receptive state, your subconscious begins to accept it as truth. The key is consistency. You are rewriting a lifetime of conditioning, and that doesn't happen overnight. Another method is emotional release. Many of the subconscious blocks keeping you stuck are not just beliefs, but stored emotional energy. Past trauma, unprocessed pain, experiences of rejection or failure, all of these create energetic imprints that shape your subconscious patterns. If these emotions remain unprocessed, they keep your subconscious anchored to old realities. Techniques like EFT, emotional freedom technique, breathwork, and even deep journaling can help you clear these emotional imprints, freeing your subconscious to accept new possibilities. But the most powerful shift of all is in identity. Your subconscious doesn't just hold beliefs about the world. It holds beliefs about who you are. And as long as you see yourself as someone who struggles, someone who is unlucky, someone who is always chasing success instead of living in it, your subconscious will ensure that reality reflects that identity. The fastest way to reprogram your subconscious is to shift your identity at the core level. Not, I want to be successful, but I am successful. Not, I hope to find love, but I am love. Not, I want abundance, but I am abundance. When this shift happens, everything else follows. You are not stuck because reality is against you. You are stuck because your subconscious has not yet accepted a new version of reality. But the moment you shift your internal world, the external world has no choice but to follow. Because the quantum field is not separate from you. It is responding to you in every moment, in every thought, in every belief you hold. Change the belief, and you change the experience. This is not a theory. It is the nature of reality itself. Most people make one critical mistake when trying to transform their lives. They waver between belief and doubt. One moment, they are certain their reality is shifting. The next, they question if anything is really happening. They wonder if they are doing it right, if they are missing something, if the universe is truly responding. And that hesitation, that flicker of uncertainty, is enough to disrupt the entire process. What they don't realize is that the universe does not respond to occasional belief. It responds to unwavering certainty. Imagine a radio dial. If you constantly switch frequencies, jumping back and forth between signals, You never lock onto any one station long enough to receive its transmission. This is exactly what happens with your energy. The moment you doubt, the moment you question whether your transformation is real, you send a conflicting signal into the quantum field. You interrupt the process, disrupting the flow that was already in motion. The universe is not testing you. It is waiting for you to decide what you truly believe. This is where most people fail. They try to manifest, but they also hedge their bets. They want to believe, but they still entertain the possibility of failure. They affirm abundance, but they still prepare for scarcity. They visualize success, but deep down, they hold on to the idea that things might not work out. This split energy creates chaos. It sends mixed signals into the field, and as a result, nothing manifests fully. The final key is to let go of doubt completely. To reach a state of vibrational certainty where you no longer question whether your reality is shifting, you know it is. You move with the confidence that what you desire is already unfolding, even if the physical evidence hasn't yet appeared. This is not a delusion. This is alignment. Because in a universe governed by energy, the delay between the unseen and the seen is not a sign of failure. It is simply the process of reality reorganizing itself to match your frequency. Think about the moments in your life when things seem to just fall into place. The opportunities that arrived at the perfect time, the chance encounters that led to breakthroughs, the situations that aligned effortlessly. These weren't random. They were the result of you being in sync with the flow. And in those moments, you weren't overanalyzing or doubting. You were simply allowing. You were in a state of trust. And because of that, the universe responded with ease. But trust is not something you practice only when things are going well. True mastery is maintaining that trust even when reality appears unchanged. This is where most people struggle. They want proof before they believe. But that is not how energy works. You must believe first, fully and completely, before the evidence appears. The moment you release the need to see immediate results, the results begin to appear. Because it is never the universe that is uncertain. It is only ever you. When you reach this level of trust, something incredible happens. The struggle disappears. Manifestation stops feeling like effort and becomes effortless. You no longer feel like you are chasing something outside of yourself. You become the source. The energy of what you desire is no longer separate from you. It is you. And once that happens, once your entire being is aligned with that frequency, reality bends in your favor. Not because you forced it to, but because you finally allowed it to. This is the difference between those who struggle and those who thrive. Strugglers are constantly questioning, constantly searching, constantly waiting for external confirmation. But those who thrive have already decided. They have made the internal shift, and because of that, reality has no choice but to reflect it back to them. This is why trust is the final key. Because the moment you remove doubt, the moment you surrender fully to the flow, you unlock the energy that has been waiting for you all along. And when that happens, everything changes, instantly, irrevocably, completely. There is a moment in every awakening when you realize that the world is not as you were taught, that reality is not a fixed structure, but something fluid, something malleable, something deeply intertwined with your own energy. And in that moment, everything shifts. You stop seeing yourself as a passive participant and recognize that you have always been a creator. The way life unfolds is not random. It is responding to you. The question is, what signal have you been sending? Most people go their entire lives unaware of this. They live in reaction mode, responding to events instead of shaping them, believing that circumstances dictate their future rather than the other way around. They do not understand that their subconscious beliefs, their emotions, their internal states are acting like a frequency beacon, pulling experiences toward them. And because they do not see the mechanism at work, they assume life is just happening to them, but it's not. It's happening through them. Ancient teachings have spoken of this for centuries, long before modern science caught up. Hermetic principles, Eastern philosophies, esoteric knowledge, all pointed to the same truth. Reality is an interconnected web of energy, and consciousness plays a direct role in shaping it. The universe is not separate from you. You are an extension of it, a node in the grand quantum field, influencing and being influenced by everything around you. But if your subconscious programming is still wired for limitation, for struggle, for lack, then that is the reality you will continue to reinforce. People often wonder why life seems to work effortlessly for some, while others struggle no matter how hard they try. The answer has never been external circumstances. It has always been energy. Those who understand this live differently. They are not waiting for proof before they believe. They believe first, and the proof follows. They have reconditioned their subconscious to operate from abundance rather than fear. And because of that, their lives unfold in ways that others call luck. But there is no luck in a field governed by frequency. There is only alignment or misalignment. The process of shifting your energy is not about adding something new. It is about stripping away the false limitations you have unconsciously absorbed. It is about unlearning the programming that told you things must be difficult, that success is rare, that change takes time. None of these things are inherently true. They are only true for those who believe them. And belief is what dictates experience. If you have felt stuck, if you have been caught in repeating cycles, it is not because change is unavailable to you. It is because the frequency you are operating from has remained the same. And no matter how much effort you exert on the outside, nothing shifts until the internal state changes first. This is why those who take control of their subconscious, who master their energy, who embody certainty rather than hope, see results faster than those who simply wish things were different. They are no longer sending mixed signals. They are no longer doubting whether the universe will respond. They know it already has. You have that same power. You always have. But power means responsibility. It means owning the reality you have created, not as a way to blame yourself, but as a way to reclaim your ability to change it. It means understanding that what you focus on expands, that your emotions are not just reactions but creative forces, that your subconscious is not a mystery but a system that can be rewritten. And once you rewrite it, nothing will be the same. The world around you will shift in ways that seem impossible to those who still believe in limitations. But you will know better. You will understand that what looks like magic is simply the natural result of aligning your frequency with a different outcome. And once you truly grasp this, there is no going back. Because once you see the truth, you cannot unsee it. You cannot return to living as though you are powerless when you have felt deep within you that you are not. Most will never realize this. They will continue waiting for external proof before they believe in their own power. They will continue questioning whether change is possible, all while reinforcing the same energetic cycles that keep them stuck. But for those who see, for those who understand, for those who are ready to step beyond old limitations, the shift begins now. The universe is not withholding anything from you. It has been waiting for you to step into alignment. And now, at this moment, the only question that remains is this: are you ready? Because the moment you decide, the moment you choose to fully step into this knowing, everything will move in your favor. Not in the future, not someday, but now. Most people will hear this message, nod in agreement, and then return to their old patterns. Not because they don't want change, but because they don't realize that transformation isn't something that happens to them. It's something they must choose. Right now, at this moment, you are standing at a crossroads. You can either take this knowledge and allow it to fade into the background, or you can act on it fully, without hesitation. Because the truth is, nothing changes until you do. Your subconscious is still listening. It has absorbed everything you have ever believed, everything you have ever feared, everything you have ever accepted as truth. And unless you take control, unless you actively reprogram it with intention, it will continue running the same patterns, generating the same results, reinforcing the same version of reality you have always known. But you don't have to keep living that way. You don't have to remain locked in a cycle that no longer serves you. The moment you decide to shift your frequency, the moment you commit to aligning your subconscious with the life you actually want, everything starts moving in your favor. Not because the universe suddenly starts working for you. It has been responding to you all along. The only thing that changes is the signal you are broadcasting. And when that signal shifts, reality has no choice but to shift with it. But here's where most people fail. They hear something profound, something that resonates at the deepest level, but instead of acting, they hesitate. They wait for the perfect moment. They wait for more confirmation. They wait for external proof before they commit to believing. But waiting is the exact thing that keeps them stuck. The energy they send out is hesitation, doubt, uncertainty. And the universe mirrors that hesitation back to them, keeping them trapped in the same cycles, reinforcing the same reality they are trying to escape. This is why trust is everything. Not just trust in the universe, but trust in yourself. Trust that you are capable of reprogramming your subconscious. Trust that your energy is already working in ways beyond what you can immediately see. Trust that the shift you desire is already unfolding, even before the evidence appears. Because the truth is, the moment you fully embody this knowing, the external proof follows effortlessly. Most will never do this. They will continue operating from the old paradigm, reacting to life instead of creating it. They will continue looking for answers outside of themselves, not realizing that the only thing stopping them is the belief that they need permission to change. But for those who are ready, for those who understand that transformation begins within, the path forward is clear. Most of what we have discussed today is only the beginning. There are deeper layers to this knowledge that are rarely shared because they challenge the very foundation of how reality is understood. Some truths are too powerful for YouTube, but for those who seek them, they exist. This is why we created Insights Academy, where we go beyond the surface and into the real mechanics of energy. If you are ready to take this further, join our free newsletter in the description below, and for a limited time, you'll receive a free digital copy of The Kybalion, a book that holds the secrets of universal law. Nothing about this is a coincidence. You were meant to hear this. You were meant to awaken to this truth. And now, the choice is yours. You can step forward, align your subconscious, and begin consciously shaping your reality, or you can remain where you are, waiting for something outside of you to change first. But remember this, reality is not happening to you. It is happening through you. If this video resonated with you, let us know by commenting. I understood it.